Well, hello, guys. Megan here, your faithful fibromyalgia warrior. I hope you guys are doing well. I know, it's been just over a week since my last video. Um, and I was just feeling as though I needed to, just let you guys know what's up with me, what's been going on, and so forth. I do hope you're all doing well. Um, I hope that God is moving in your lives and, that you have hope if you aren't in that space. And that's okay, by the way, obviously, because we're not always there all the time. But I would say, I hope that maybe this video can encourage you. So, what's been going on this past week? Well, if you saw my last video, you'll know that I have completely come off all my prescription pain medication, like all of it. No gabapentin, no cocodamol. That's it. None of it. I haven't, well, I was going to say baclofen, but I haven't taken that for my lower back in over a year. I haven't needed my compression gloves for my fingers or my wrists. My arthritis is quite well managed for the most part. My inflammation is down a lot. My IBS is overall, well, I was going to say is in check, as far as, dealing with the bloating and constipation. However, what I've come to understand is that my body has had 9 years worth of medication stored in it. The stuff that we take, that we put in our bodies, can stay in our fat cells for years. And so I think for me, now that I'm starting to, now that I have been completely off pain medication for a week now, I am feeling quite exhausted. Every day I feel just a tiny little bit more energy. But it also means that there is nothing in my body that is adding to my constipation. So everything seems to be, for the last few days especially, has been just literally just running right through me. We'll leave it at that. But I also know, like I say, I think a lot of that is because I'm adjusting to not having all these medications in my system. And I still feel a dull chronic pain in my lower back, specifically down around my sacrum and my sacroiliac joint. So if you guys don't know, that's it's a bit of bone that is at after the end of your spine. So the lumbar part, which is your lower spine, there is a bit of bone, and that's your sacrum. And your sacrum then has soft joints, ligaments, tissues, however you want to describe it, that attaches your spine to the top of your pelvic bone. So that's where I feel still some irritation, some pain, not to the point where I'm willing to take any medication for it. I've been trying to do a lot of stretching. I've been trying to, make sure that I'm getting plenty of sunshine, trying to get lots of rest. I've had to put like cold washcloths, so cold compresses, either in that area or when my knees have been felt a bit inflamed. I've used cold compresses and they've worked, and it's been great that way. And I figure, I don't know how long I'm going to keep feeling still exhausted through the day. But I guess it's all part of healing. So I guess what I wanted to share was that, yes, I still have some chronic pain. It's overall, normally it's pretty minor. I've been able to do a bit of gardening, vacuum the house. I cleaned out all the shelves in the refrigerator. Now, no one asked me to. I was just like, I could only watch so much Netflix, and then I got bored. So, and the shelves needed cleaning. So I did that. But I've been able to feel like I'm doing a little bit more around the house. My challenge is I'll try to do too much, and all of a sudden I will be feeling completely wiped. So like yesterday, which was a bank holiday here in the UK, my husband and I spent the afternoon together. We went out, we grabbed some lunch. We went to a really nice place in town that had an outdoor garden area, and we sat out there. We had some food. We shared a really nice Peruvian coffee. And that was amazing. However, I don't know if it was because of too much sun or what it was, but by the time we finished eating a late lunch, I was ready to go home. I felt like I needed to take a nap, or at least sit on the sofa. That was a bit more comfortable. And I kept feeling like, okay, great, I came off these medications, but I'm still a little bit sore. I can still get a bit inflamed. I still have some healing. I would say I'm like 98%, maybe 97, 98% healed. But there was still that little bit there. And part of me feels like, well, then it's not really a healing. And I guess I just wanted to share, wherever you might be at, sometimes we get lucky, and if we have injuries or illness strikes us, sometimes we can heal quickly if we're lucky. If we don't have a compromised immune system, which I did, if we don't have a compromised rebuilding system, which of course I did because of all the crap I put in my body, then some of us are just lucky and we heal fast. But for most of us, it does take time. And even though I know that intellectually, I kept thinking to myself, I'm going to be live streaming soon and making videos every day, and I've got so many amazing things to share about how God has blessed me, and I truly, truly feel blessed. And, there is a line out of one of my favorite songs called Waymaker, and the line is this: even when I don't feel it, you're working. And for me, I thought, oh, it'll be amazing. I'll just be completely 100% completely reversed. I'll be running like a track athlete and, bodybuilding and all this stuff in no time. And it hasn't happened. And so part of me started to feel like, wow, wait a minute. Does this mean God's done with me? Am I no longer going to get any more pain relief? No more healing? Now, to be honest, I don't know. But I have faith that if God could heal me as far as he has and as much as he has in 3 short years, then surely there's more that's coming. And I just have to keep doing the right things. And of course, being in perimenopause, my hormones are changing, my gut health is changing a little bit based on my hormonal levels and everything that's transitioning there. I have been building muscle, I've been strengthening my core, things I never ever thought could ever possibly happen 9 years ago. Like, there's just no way. When we go to church, when we meet in person, because once a month we have our own meetups, small group meetups, but when we meet as a whole congregation, where we park, now admittedly, it is in the disabled parking, which is not too far from the entrance we use to go in for service. But having said that, I can still walk that distance, I don't know, 10 meters, if that, 10, 15 meters maybe. I can find a spot and I can sit through service without a butt cushion, and enjoy the service and stand up and join in the singing easily. I've finally taken my swivel bath seat out of the out of the tub because I don't need it. I haven't needed it for almost 2.5 months, which I never thought could happen. I'm able to stretch out on my side with my pillow. One of those memory foam. That's it. With a memory foam pillow and my body pillow between my knees and be comfortable. And I've slept out there like that on occasion. I haven't fallen asleep out there, but I could never do that before because it was too much. It was too uncomfortable for me. And I just think back of how far I've come, and I've had to remind myself, especially these last couple of days, that every step of progress is still a step of progress. And maybe I'll always have a bit of lower back pain. I mean, I certainly did before my injury. It was always kind of easily irritated, my sacrum and my SI joint. That whole area was always a little bit oversensitive. Maybe I always will. I don't plan to take up running, even if I'm feeling completely healed and absolutely zero pain. That's not my plan. But to eat carnivore and to feel my hair getting a bit healthier every day is incredible. My nails are no longer chipping on my fingers. My toenails are starting to slowly get that way too. My skin is improving. Just from that alone is pretty massive. My hair, if you look at pictures of me, and there's some ones out on my Instagram from five years ago, let's say, I think it was, my hair looks like it's all completely gray. Now, some of that was just very light, pale blonde, but there was a lot of gray. Now, I've not colored my hair in over a year. This is all me. This is all natural. My hair has gone back to blonde. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. All part of being carnivore. And my husband is transitioning to the carnivore diet. He's in the early stages, but he's really trying hard to get there too, because he knows the benefits. He's seen it in me and he wants it for himself, which is amazing. And I know that a day shall come where I will not need a wheelchair at all. Probably not, probably will when we go on our holidays next month to Canada, just to get through the airport and that kind of thing. However, there will come a day in the not too distant future where I will no longer need that wheelchair, where I will be able to walk through an airport and I might feel tired and be a bit sore, but I will be able to get through when we travel for holidays on my own 2 feet. And that's a hope I'm clinging to. And in the meantime, God has just been deepening and reviving my faith like nobody's business. It has been so incredible just to think of how many things have changed in 9 years, but really only started changing 3 years ago. Because until that point, I was eating all the wrong things for me. I was in agony. I was a zombie in the brain. I had no interest of anything in life. I had no desire to do anything. My depression and my anxiety was unmanageable. And I'm so thankful that I found carnivore to start my physical healing so that I could then have a clear mind and an open heart and work on my spiritual healing. And I do believe the two go hand in hand. Absolutely. But I am so grateful for this community of great people who, are finding health, are finding all sorts of peace and recovery and goodness, and it's amazing. It's so wonderful. And I wanted to share this video because it was on my heart, first and foremost. But you guys know me. I'm about sharing what's in my heart when it's in my heart, and not trying to make things overly polished. Sometimes I'll get out the green screen and make it all fancy, and I'm hoping once I start to get a little bit more energy back, that I'm going to be doing some more live streams. That's my hope, because I love talking with you guys, sharing what worked for me, what's helped me, where I'm at now, what things I'm trying, what things I'm avoiding, and so forth. But I am so grateful for all of your support and all of your love, because it means so much to me. My channel is just a little wee channel, just a little bitty channel of me just sharing what I've been through and how God has worked so incredibly in my life. And when I first became a Christian, there were carnivore. It may have existed, but I never heard about it. In fact, I had such a horrible relationship with food that even if I wasn't actively being anorexic or bulimic, I was still obsessed with weight and what I ate and restricting. And those patterns never really went anywhere except for just a little bit deeper under the surface. Easily triggered, but never actually resolved. Not until 3 years ago. Well, 2.5 years ago, okay? Because I was able to make my way back to an incredible friendship and walk with God in November of 2020. I rededicated myself to being a faithful person, to being a Christian, to seeing how much I've been given by God and how blessed I was, not just spiritually, of course, physically, dramatically. I realized, all told, I've lost almost 100 pounds. Almost 100 pounds. Since I started on carnivore almost a year ago. Almost 3 years ago. That is astounding. I don't even really, it's hard for me to remember what it felt like at times to be in that body, because it hasn't been me for almost 3 years, and that's amazing. And I will not change that. I've been able to come off all my statins, all my painkiller prescriptions, all 3 of them. I've been able to slightly lower my antidepressants. And now, okay, let me just say this. I didn't actively decide to come off of my thyroid medication. I actually forgot to order it in time. And so I've been out of it for the past few days. And because it's been a long weekend, I won't get the refill until the end of the week. But actually, I'm feeling not too bad, which tells me that now I'm going to probably take the medication, just carry on with it, because I have to wait till August for my annual checkup to get my bloods done. And if the GP feels it's okay to come off of the thyroid medication, then that's what I'll do, because I do not produce enough of the hormone normally to have an effective digestive process and all the other things that the hormones do from the thyroid. So that I don't want to mess up. But so far I'm okay. So which tells me if the GP says, hey, yeah, you can come off your microdosage, then that's what I'm going to do as well. Just to be completely open and honest and share that with you guys. So really the only things I'm still taking, and again, the only reason I'm not taking the levothyroxine these last few days is because I forgot to order more before the weekend. So I know that ultimately I'll be all right, and I'll just start it again once it comes in at the end of the week. Other than that, I'm on a very slightly reduced amount of antidepressant because for the most part I feel amazing. I feel positive. I feel grateful. And my anxieties are at an all-time low because I'm seeing God work in my life. And sometimes when my lower back gets twingy or achy, it's easy for me to think, oh, great, I'm never going to heal. This is always going to be with me. But even if it's true, God is still working. That's the key. God is always working. For the people I know at church who have only ever known me to be in a wheelchair, to be able to see me these last couple of months not having to use one, wow. That's the thing, right? We are so a part of ourselves every day. Okay, that came out weird, I know. But we're so in our moments that it's easy to forget what we've come from and where we've been. And I know I've done that. I have done that, even recently. And the thing is, wow, God has been incredible and amazing every time. And it always works in His timing. Everything always happens for just the right reason, even when we don't know why. So I don't know when this pain will go ultimately, but I have faith that it will heal even more, and that my desire and my hope and my dream to be able to walk freely, whether it's into town, whether it's through an airport, whether it's just taking a walk somewhere on holiday or in the park down in the center of town. I want to get to that point because that to me is freedom. And I trust if I continue to give my heart to God and love Him, then hopefully He'll continue to help me heal. As long as I'm putting in the right things in my body, the meat of animals, skeletal muscle meat of animals, with the fat that it comes with naturally, maybe an eggs, cooking with a bit of butter here and there, those basics, I think are going to keep being the key for me. I don't know. It's been a while. I've missed you guys. I hope you're all doing really well. If you live over here in the UK, I really hope you guys have had a fantastic long weekend. And again, I just wanted to share what's happening with me. Maybe it'll help encourage you, give you some hope. Because I was convinced 9 years ago that was it. My life was done. It was over. And I went through the whole grieving process of having to look at my life in a new way. And yet, here's where God brought me, ultimately, through all that time. Why did I have to wait 9 years for that to happen? I don't know. Why did it take 6 years for me to work out that the biggest single problem with my physical health was what I was eating? Because, to be honest, before that, I wasn't ready to hear that truth. So, if you are open, if you are, willing or wanting to consider something beyond the standard offal diet, I would say try carnivore. What have you got to lose? Well, honestly, possibly, if you're like me, inflammation, pain, bloating, IBS symptoms, mental health issues, and body fat. Those all seem like really good things to potentially lose by swapping out our diets. And I would also say it doesn't mean that it's very simple to do. Doesn't mean it's easy. It's not, but it is very simple. And sometimes it's those simple things that are the most difficult things that end up becoming the most incredible things. The only thing really that I ever thought was more difficult than this was when I first started looking into the scriptures and learned what it meant to be a Christian and making the decision that that's what I wanted in my life. Now, it was a simple decision because I knew life would be better if I did that. But, you know, it was still a challenge, but it was well worth it. So, beyond our relationship with God, the other important thing I personally think is nourishing our bodies properly. And from what I've experienced with the healing I've had so far, not that I'm completely, fully, 100%, no pain left healed, I'm like 97% there. That's pretty darn amazing. Considering 9 years ago, forget it. There was no way it would ever happen. Ever. And my symptoms just constantly got worse, as I say, until 6 years ago. So, maybe I can be a cautionary tale or a tale of hope of what might be possible. But I definitely think eating this way is, if you're not yet, or even if you're trying like low carb or keto. I mean, carnivore is just a subset of the ketogenic protocol, but even those can make a big difference, you know? Get rid of all the carbs, fruits, veg, processed crap, seed oils, get rid of it all. And you will feel loads better almost right away, would be my guess. And maybe you don't need to lose weight. Maybe you're lucky. Maybe you are simply trying to improve your health. This could still help. That's worth a shot, right? Anyways, fellas and ladies, thank you so much for your attention. I'm so glad you guys checked out my video. I am done here for the evening. I hope to have more content soon. Not a week away from now, but hopefully before that. And I will just keep you guys up to date as I progress and let you know how I'm doing, where the pain levels are at, what's improving, what is staying the same, and so on. Thank you guys for everything. And listen, by the way, if you guys really want to share this with anybody that you think it might help, feel free. That's why I do this. I've been given the two greatest gifts of life, my relationship with God and getting my own body back, getting my mind and my body back, even better than it was ever before. Blessings upon blessings from God. Who would I be? I'm not going to keep it to myself because this should be something, these are truths that everybody should be able to have, regardless of who they are or where they live or whatever, right? So if you have anyone you want to share it with, please do. More the merrier to join. Anyways, that's it. I'm rambling. Gotta go. Thanks again, guys. See you soon. Bye.